What if I told you that you are not here by accident? What if the fact that you are reading these words right now is the very sign you've been asking for? Think about it. Haven't you felt it? That strange emptiness that nothing fills, no matter how much you chase or achieve. That restless stirring in your chest, like you are waiting for something you cannot name. That eerie sensation that time itself is no longer moving the way it used to, sometimes rushing past you in a blur, other times stretching a single moment into eternity. And in your quietest hours, that whisper in your mind that says reality is not what it seems. You've tried to brush it off. You've told yourself it's just stress, or coincidence, or your imagination playing tricks. But deep down, you know it isn't. Deep down, you know something is happening, something bigger than you, and you cannot ignore it anymore. This is not just another post on a screen. This is not a random piece of content thrown to you by some algorithm. This is a message. It is a code. It is a key. Thousands of years ago, an ancient intelligence left behind a hidden message, one that was not meant to be opened until a very specific time in history. It was designed for the moment when humanity would stand on the threshold of awakening, when a new portal of consciousness would begin to open on Earth. That moment is now. And if your eyes are on these words, then you are part of it. This message has found you because you were meant to see it. Everything you've gone through, your struggles, your heartbreaks, your loneliness, your nights when you thought you couldn't go on, they weren't accidents. They weren't punishments. They were preparation. They were tests, filters meant to find the souls who carried the right frequency to awaken. And if you are here, still listening, it means you passed. It means your activation has already begun. You've seen the signs, though maybe you didn't recognize them for what they were. You think of someone, and suddenly they call or text. You wonder about something, and the answer appears right in front of you in a video, in a book, in a random conversation. These are not coincidences. These are not tricks. They are the first proof that your mind is beginning to bend reality. But here is the warning. Once this process begins, it cannot be reversed. And there are forces in this world that do not want you to awaken, because your awakening weakens their control. They thrive when you are blind. They profit when you are asleep. But you are breaking through, and they cannot stop you if you keep going. Think about your sense of time. Have you noticed how it has shifted? Hours vanish in what feels like minutes when you are immersed in something you love. A single moment expands into what feels like eternity when you are truly present, watching a sunset, holding someone you love, feeling something deeply. That's not imagination. That's your consciousness slipping out of the prison of the clock. Time, as you've been taught to know it, is not absolute. It is not the ruler of existence. It is a structure humans created to organize experience. The ancients taught that time itself doesn't move. Time is like an endless ocean of possibilities, still and infinite. What moves is your consciousness. When you are trapped in routine, in stress, in survival, your awareness rolls forward in a straight, narrow line. That's linear time. But when you awaken, your consciousness begins to move freely across the ocean. That's why time feels strange. That's why synchronicities start to multiply. Those synchronicities are the universe speaking back to you. They are feedback, signals that your inner world is beginning to align with the greater flow. When you think of a song and it suddenly plays, when you ask a question And the answer is waiting for you on a billboard or in a stranger's words. That is not random chance. That is the universe waving back, saying, I hear you. I see you. Keep going. And as your frequency shifts, people begin to sense it. Some feel uncomfortable around you because your new vibration disrupts the autopilot state they are stuck in. Others are drawn to you, magnetized, even if they cannot explain why. They feel your calm, your presence, your quiet strength. Your energy is becoming coherent, and energy always shapes reality. The world has no choice but to respond. This is what the Hermetic masters called rhythm. Life moves in cycles, tides that rise and fall. Most people are dragged helplessly by these tides, euphoric when the wave rises, despairing when it falls. But you are beginning to see the wave from above. You are learning not to be a victim of rhythm, but to ride it. You are discovering how to stay centered no matter whether life feels like it is lifting you up or pulling you down. And this is only the beginning. The shift does not stay inside your feelings. It begins to manifest in the physical world. Technology and objects start to respond to you. Have you noticed how often your phone lights up right after you think of someone? How answers appear the moment you start asking the right questions? How devices seem to flicker or act strangely when your emotions are intense? This is not coincidence. This is not just technology. This is proof of the oldest truth: the all is mind. The universe is mental. Reality is a projection of consciousness. This is not metaphor. This is literal. If the universe itself is consciousness, then your consciousness is not separate from it. It is a spark of the same flame. A drop of the ocean still carries the chemistry of the sea. And when your mind is clear, focused, aligned, it generates a powerful electromagnetic field. That field interacts with reality itself. Technology is sensitive to it, but so is life itself. A parking space opens at the exact moment you arrive. A book falls into your hands open to the page you needed most. A stranger crosses your path with the very solution you were searching for. These are not miracles that break laws. They are the natural effects of resonance. You are beginning to consciously connect with the field the ancients called the Akashic Records, and science now calls the quantum field. An invisible ocean of information where all possibilities exist. In the past, you touched it unconsciously, randomly. Now you are beginning to access it deliberately. But understand this: your awakening wasn't gifted to you without effort. It was forged in the hardest times of your life. Every heartbreak, every moment of despair, every night you felt abandoned was not punishment. It was training. You were being refined through the hidden science of alchemy. Alchemy was never about turning metal into gold. The lead was always symbolic. The lead was your fear, your ignorance, your pain. The gold was your awakened consciousness, your wisdom, your freedom. The furnace was your suffering. The fire was your trials. Just as carbon becomes diamond under pressure, your soul was shaped by the weight of life. Every heartbreak taught you balance. Every lonely night forced you to listen to your soul. Every loss stripped away illusions. You were being burned, broken, refined, not to destroy you, but to reveal your true essence. This was the dark night of the soul, the stage the alchemists called Nigredo, the dissolving of illusions, the breaking of false identities. It was brutal, but it was necessary. You were placed in the furnace so everything false in you could be burned away, leaving only what is real. And because you survived, because you endured, you are now entering the next stages: illumination, clarity, union with the divine. Here is the great revelation. You do not need to reach some distant state of enlightenment. You do not need to climb a ladder to divinity. You are not broken. You are not incomplete. You are already whole. Your consciousness has always been complete. Awakening is not about gaining something new. It is about peeling away the illusions that made you forget who you are. The ego keeps you searching, always chasing, never arriving. But the truth is you already are what you seek. Awakening is not becoming divine. It is remembering your divinity. And when you begin to live from this truth, reality changes. Life stops being a battle and becomes a flow. Problems dissolve. Answers appear. The right people arrive. The universe itself begins to conspire with you. This is not just synchronicity anymore. This is synchro-destiny, the universe moving the pieces in your favor. You begin to make decisions differently, not just through logic, but by feeling the flow. You act less but achieve more, because your actions are aligned. Fear of the future fades, because you trust the intelligence guiding life. You no longer need to control every detail. You discover the art of surrender, not as weakness, but as true power. Because when you let go, you allow a greater force to work through you. And here is the truth you must never forget. This awakening is not only about you. Humanity itself is transforming. Like water shifting from ice to vapor, collective consciousness is changing states. We are leaving behind fear and separation and entering unity, love, and creation. And you who feel these words, are not here to watch. You are here to participate. You are part of the first wave. You came into this time with a mission: to awaken first, to stabilize the vibration, to be an anchor so that millions can follow. The ancients foresaw this. They wrote of the return of the children of light, souls who come back in cycles to hold the frequency when humanity is ready to rise. This is not fantasy. This is energy. You do not need to be a guru. You do not need to save the world. Your awakened presence is enough. This is the true meaning of unlocking quantum consciousness. It is not about chasing powers or manifesting small desires. Those are only side effects. The real purpose is to live as who you truly are, to embody it fully, and by doing so, to help lift the entire world. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are the key. The true unlocking of who you are is not found in chasing after grand answers, but in stepping into the role you were always meant to play. All the struggles you endured, the healing journeys, the deep searching for truth, the times you felt broken or lost, none of it was random. It was training. It was preparation for this very moment in the history of the planet. Your path wasn't just about you becoming stronger or wiser for your own sake. You were evolving on behalf of the collective. Every wound you healed, every shadow you faced, every time you rose again from despair, you were clearing the path not only for yourself, but for humanity. You are like a living acupuncture point in the body of the earth, and through you the energies of balance and harmony can flow. Each time you choose love instead of fear, calm instead of panic, wisdom instead of reactivity, you are not just making a personal choice. You are sending waves of stability and light into the collective field. You become a transmitter, a beacon, a stabilizer. Your life becomes a frequency tower helping to uplift the vibration of the entire planet. This is why your personal growth and the healing of the world are not separate processes. They are one and the same, seen from different angles. That sensitivity you carry, the empathy that has often felt overwhelming, even the sense that you never fully belonged in this world, those were not flaws. They were the tools you were born with. You were designed to feel the distortions of the old energy so that you could consciously hold and sustain the vibration of the new. What once felt like weakness reveals itself now as sacred equipment for the role you came to play. This is why your life eventually shifts from being about personal happiness alone to becoming a deeper act of service to life itself. It is not the action itself that matters most, but the consciousness behind the action. Whether you are meditating quietly in your room or simply tending a garden, you are still contributing. The vibration you hold matters more than the outer form. You were prepared, purifying, and activated to be a frequency anchor for the new earth. Your very presence here is of greater importance than you ever realized. But to fully embody this role, one fundamental shift is required. You must release the haunting, restless question that has troubled humanity for so long. What is my life purpose? This question, though it seems noble, has become a source of great anxiety. We have been taught that meaning only comes when we find one great mission, one destiny that defines us. But this search rests on a false idea that you are a separate, small being struggling to carve out a place in a vast, indifferent universe. The constant pressure to find a single grand purpose becomes a trap for the ego, leaving people feeling inadequate, as if they are always falling short of the mark. The truth is, you do not need to find your purpose. You are the purpose. The great shift comes when the question changes. You no longer ask with desperation, "What should I do with my life?" Instead, you quiet yourself, open your heart, and allow a new question to rise. What does universal intelligence wish to express through me right now? The first question comes from fear and ego, seeking control and definition. The second comes from spirit, from the recognition that you are a vessel, a channel through which life expresses itself. This is the turning point. You stop forcing and start allowing. You stop trying to direct the play of life and instead embody the actor who brings the role to life with grace. Your deepest personal joy and your greatest service to the world are revealed to be one and the same. What fills you with joy is the very thing that lights up others. Your happiness becomes your contribution. Your passion becomes your gift. This union is the true marriage of masculine and feminine energy. The masculine energy of will, drive, and direction no longer fights against the feminine energy of creativity, flow, and nurturing. They become one harmonious dance. Action and allowing merge. You no longer live in inner conflict. Instead, you become a master of flow, where life itself moves through you effortlessly. And in this state, you do not become passive. You become deeply effective. You stop wasting energy on anxious searching and fearful striving. You become guided by intuition, clarity, and synchronicity. You begin to notice life placing you in the right place at the right time. You sense the whispers of the universe, guiding you not through force, but through feeling. Life turns into a dance of co-creation, a dialogue between you and the divine. As you live this way, your entire system transforms. Intuition sharpens. It no longer comes as a faint whisper easily drowned out by the mind. It becomes a steady, reliable guidance system, an inner GPS that helps you navigate life with confidence. Creativity flows in a way that feels natural and effortless. You stop forcing ideas or struggling with blocks because you realize you are not the source of inspiration. You are the channel through which inspiration flows. Ideas arrive complete from the universal mind, waiting only for you to bring them into form. Health also reflects this harmony. Stress, the great destroyer of the body, dissolves as inner conflict dissolves. Your body begins to mirror your inner peace. Energy that was once drained by worry now flows freely, renewing and strengthening you. Wellness stops being something you chase and instead becomes the natural expression of your vibrational state. Abundance too reveals itself in a new way. Scarcity is shown to be nothing more than a vibration of fear and separation. When you live in alignment with unity and wholeness, you naturally tune into the frequency of abundance. This does not just mean money, though material needs are met more easily. It means opportunities, resources, synchronicities, and support flowing toward you. You stop chasing and start attracting. You begin to see that the universe itself is infinitely abundant, and that limitation existed only in the mind. Real mastery was never about controlling life outside of you. It was about mastering yourself, your own frequency, your inner state. By aligning with the higher flow, life becomes lighter, easier, more magical. You enter into a state of grace where things fall into place not by accident, but by alignment. And then comes the deepest secret, the frontier of mastery, time itself. We have been trained to see time as a straight line, dragging us from past to future. But this is only the perception of an unconscious mind. The truth is that past, present, and future coexist in the eternal now. This is the truth taught by sages and masters throughout the ages. Time is not something outside of you. It is a dimension of your own perception. When your consciousness is anchored fully in the present moment, the 0 point, you stand in the control center of reality. From this place of power, you can influence both the past and the future. You cannot change the events of the past, but you can change the meaning, the energy, the emotional charge. You can send forgiveness, healing, and compassion to your past self. And by doing so, you dissolve the wounds that echo into your present. You alchemize pain into wisdom. And from the same point of presence, you can shape the future. By radiating a clear, coherent frequency now, you plant the seeds of the reality to come. The future is no longer something you chase. It is something you magnetize into the present. The key to this mastery is not in the mind, but in the heart. Ancient traditions always knew this, and now science confirms it. The human heart generates a powerful electromagnetic field, thousands of times stronger than the brain. When your thoughts and feelings come into alignment, your mind and heart enter coherence. This creates a powerful wave of energy, stabilizing your awareness in the present and connecting you to the unified field of existence. Elevated emotions like gratitude, compassion, and love unlock this heart portal. Gratitude tells the universe, I am whole. I have enough. Compassion dissolves separation and connects you to the web of life. These states of being are the language the universe understands. The practice is simple. Several times a day, Pause. Take a deep breath. Move your focus from your mind to your heart. Recall something or someone you feel deep gratitude for. Let that feeling grow until it fills your whole body. In that moment, you are rewiring your biochemistry, calming your nervous system, and activating your heart portal. You are entering coherence. This is not just a small exercise. It is reality engineering at its most profound level. Through this portal of the heart, you move from being reactive to being creative. You step into conscious creation. Mastering the frequency of your heart is mastering the art of shaping reality itself. And here is the extraordinary truth. When multiple hearts enter coherence together, their power does not simply add, it multiplies. The effect becomes exponential. A field of amplified coherence is created, capable of shifting reality on a collective scale. And you, as part of the first wave, are being called now to take part in this co-creation. You were born for this. You were prepared for this. And together, through the alignment of many hearts, something entirely new will be birthed on this planet. Your awakening is powerful, but it is not the final chapter. It is only the beginning. You are not waking up just for yourself. You are part of something much larger, a living network of consciousness spreading across the planet. Imagine a vast web of light encircling the earth. Every time a person opens their heart, aligns their mind, and chooses love, another point in that web glows brighter. You are one of those lights, and your steady glow strengthens the entire field. Science has a concept called critical mass. It is the point where enough individual changes cause the entire system to shift. Water heats gradually, but at a certain point it boils all at once. Human consciousness works the same way. When enough people live from the heart and sustain that state of coherence, the collective field reaches a tipping point. The vibration of the whole planet rises. Suddenly, awakening becomes easier for everyone because the path has already been carved by those who chose love first. Your personal alignment fuels this collective momentum. This is the deeper meaning behind the prophecy of a second coming. It is not one master descending from the sky to rescue humanity. It is the awakening of divine consciousness within millions of ordinary people. It is the realization that the kingdom of heaven is already within. Salvation does not come from outside. It rises from within, from the hearts of a humanity remembering its true nature. Your role as part of this first wave is to stabilize the network of light. Your daily practices, choosing gratitude, staying coherent, embodying love, are not small. They ripple through the web and send signals that others can follow. You become a lighthouse for those still walking through fear and confusion. You make the way smoother for those who come after you. This is why group meditations and collective prayers carry such extraordinary power. When multiple hearts beat in coherence with the same intention, their fields do not simply add up, they multiply exponentially. The web becomes a massive transmitter. It can calm global tension, soften chaos, and anchor frequencies of peace and harmony. You are part of a soul family spread across the globe, connected beyond space and time. Even if you never meet, your victories are shared. Every fear you overcome weakens fear in the collective field. Every step you take into love lights the way for countless others. You are not just a dreamer or seeker. You are a soldier of light. And this is not only a beautiful spiritual image. It has real, urgent importance. This network acts as humanity's spiritual immune system. It holds light against forces that want to keep humanity locked in fear, division, and forgetfulness. We are living in a war of frequencies, not a war of weapons and bombs, but a battle of energy. On one side are entropic forces, systems that thrive on chaos, fear, anger, shame, guilt, and conflict. They feed on low vibrations and keep consciousness small and contracted. They work through media that floods people with stories of danger, through economies built on scarcity and competition, through politics and religion that emphasize division. The goal is to keep humanity vibrating at its lowest, so that life force energy can be harvested like fuel. On the other side is the network of light you belong to. It transmits frequencies of unity, coherence, sovereignty, and love. Here, love is not sentimental. It is the cosmic force of order, healing, and growth. Each time you choose compassion, gratitude, or forgiveness, you participate in this battle. Your weapon is the frequency of your heart. Your armor is the coherence of your energy field. You can walk into a tense room and bring calm without saying a word. You can carry clarity where there is confusion. You do this not by fighting fear on its level, but by embodying love so deeply that fear has no ground left to stand on. Darkness cannot be beaten with more darkness. It dissolves in the presence of light. Your life itself becomes the battlefield and the temple. Every choice, every thought, every word sends a ripple. Are you strengthening love or fear? Unity or division? Creation or reaction? Nothing is insignificant. Every moment carries weight. Your sovereignty is the greatest gift you give to the planet. Real sovereignty begins in the mind. You are the gatekeeper of your consciousness. Nothing enters without your permission. The illusion of the matrix is that you have no control, that your thoughts and emotions happen to you. But you do have control. You can choose. The practice of the awakened one is to remain vigilant and exercise that choice. The universe is mental. Your outer life mirrors your inner state. If your mind is saturated with fear and worry, life will reflect exactly that. If your thoughts lean toward trust, gratitude, and abundance, the mirror of reality reflects abundance back to you. The practice is clear. Observe every thought and emotion. Ask, does this come from love or fear? Does it expand me or contract me? Thoughts that expand you are aligned with love. Feed them, nurture them, embody them. Thoughts that contract you are old programs of fear. Do not fight them. Simply recognize them. Withdraw your attention, and they lose their power. Fear is like a ghost that survives only when you believe in it. When you stop feeding it, it dissolves into nothingness. This is the discipline of mastery. It is not about controlling the outer world. It is about becoming master of the inner one. And when you do, the outer inevitably aligns. You polish the source, and the reflection in the mirror changes. This requires presence. You cannot guard the gate of your mind if you are lost in distraction or autopilot. That is why meditation, breathing exercises, and practices of heart coherence are vital. They train your attention, strengthen your presence, and keep you anchored in choice. Every small choice is powerful. Choosing gratitude over complaint, forgiveness over resentment, presence over distraction. These are not minor acts. They are bricks in the foundation of a new world. Each time you choose love, You rewrite your programming and add strength to the collective field. Awakening is not something distant. It is not something that will arrive someday in the future. It is here, and it is a choice you must make again and again. The question is no longer, am I ready? The real question is always, do I choose? Do I choose right now to embody love? Do I choose to be an anchor of light in the web of humanity? Do I choose to respond with unity instead of anger, with peace instead of fear? Knowledge by itself is not enough. True transformation happens only when knowledge becomes embodiment, when you live it through your thoughts, words, and actions. Do not wait for the perfect moment to start. Begin now. Begin with the breath you are taking. Begin with the thought you are thinking. If you fall, rise again. If you forget, remember again. Every return strengthens you. Every act of love stabilizes the field. This is not a call to join a religion or follow a leader. It is an invitation to join a silent, global movement of awakened hearts. You can connect with others through intention. In meditation, imagine the web of light around Earth and see yourself as one of its glowing points. Feel the connection with every other awakened soul. Know that every victory, no matter how small, strengthens the whole. This quiet revolution is already here. It will not be televised. It is happening inside of you and inside countless others right now. The door has always been open. The portal in your heart has always been active, waiting for your attention. The only question left is, will you step through it? Will you claim your power and live as the vast, luminous being you truly are? The time is now. The choice is yours. The network of light is alive, and you are one of its shining pillars.